That was horrible. I just hit the, I just skipped off the camera. That was really bad. That was not a good look for the brand. Now let's go toss some plastic. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. Today we find ourselves back at Blue Goose in Frankfort, Kentucky. Currently the 48th ranked course in the world. Now there is a full 36 holes here and we are taking on the blue layout today. Now I'm completely trashed. I've had this entire course to myself all day and I've just been throwing discs everywhere and I'm really excited to see what else it has to offer. Hole 1 is no walk in the park. 391 feet. We're going way downhill. Plenty of opportunities for the disc to do whatever it wants because we also have a lot of wind. I'm going to go with my champion Orc and I am really excited to get this round started. You know, it's hard to tell with the angle, but that looked really close. That looked really close. Let's get started. And I imagine we're gonna have a lot of obstructed putts just like we did on the yellow layout. This one about 40 feet elevated, quite a few trees in the way for the 2. Oh, that's a tricky first putt. It is a bummer. Really nice, long, beautiful drive. Would have been a good one to knock down. Hole 2, it's only 178 feet. As you can see, it's a tight little line here, dead straight with a right finish. This would be perfect for a nice little finessey flip up forehand shot, but I'm holding the envy, so we all know that I'm not gonna do that. I think that tree saved us. These shorter shots, that's why I like the Rhino so much, because the Envy will glide forever, but I'm definitely not gonna make the Rhino do that shot shape. The tree performed a lot better than I did on that shot. Hole 3, and this is one of 3 holes that have a shared basket with the yellow course. We have 300 feet, really tight tunnel shot, and we're going uphill. This one is quite tricky. I'm gonna go with my champion Leopard. That was one of the weirdest flights I've ever had on a disc. I mean, the wind is like getting weird and swirly with the uphill, but that Leopard like skied and then dead ducked out of the air. That was super weird. I don't even know if we made it 3/4 of the way up there. We've left ourselves in a very tricky situation. I'd guess we're around 85 feet away. I can try to take this backdoor hyzer lane or this kind of crazy Waka Waka lane. And if we already took it out of the bag, we might as well give it a try. Alrighty, nice, slow, and did what I wanted. That's why we love the Waka Waka. For the 3. So when you first pull up to Blue Goose, this is what you're gonna see, and it's very cool. He's got, I'm not sure if he laser burns or what the deal is, but he has his 48th ranked in the world, and then he's got all these, this is all on wood, the original T signs for both courses. He has all kinds of cool stuff, and then he has this box, first aid kit, bug spray. Super underrated. I wish more courses, especially these wooded courses, had that. Hole 4, 345 feet. We have a blind shot. The basket's somewhere down there, and I see our tight little fairway that we're aiming for. As you guys can see, some of the baskets are very close to the tee pads, which is common in some of these backyard courses, but Stefan does a great job of mitigating that with how many people he lets out on the course. I'm gonna go with my Leopard. Yikes. I did not like the sound of that hit. Very hard hold, very congested. I didn't like the sound of that one. It had that sound like a disc broke. If you've heard it, you know what I'm talking about. We're in a tricky spot here. I'm gonna take my scepter. I'm gonna try to hit this small gap in front of us here. Maybe get a skip, just work its way towards the basket. If we leave ourselves a putt, that would be great. Get up there. All right, that tree kick hurt. That one hurt. That was a good shot. Hit my gap, hit something I wasn't even thinking about. 36 feet, I can go with an Annie or a bit of a hyzer putt. I'm gonna try the steep hyzer putt. After the steep hyzer putt didn't work, we have a chance to try to save our 4. Hole 5, and this is a spicy one. This hole is called Boomerang, 210 feet. It's not that basket that you can see up there. It's way off to the right. Classic meat hook situation here. I'm gonna go with my Waka Waka. All right, was it good? Let's go find out. Guys, I feel like I'm in a different universe on these last few holes. I had a big Annie up over that basket we could see. This is like I threw a big hyzer. I have no idea how the Waka Waka got here. As you can see, we are just trying to throw through a maze right now. The basket's right in front of us. I'm either gonna throw something really high, maybe a thumber, or I'm gonna try to just lace my champion rhino in this little gap right here. All right, we hit that one vine going across the middle, but it worked its way towards the basket. We are happy with that. Very nice recovery shot. Went in. Hole 6, 260 feet. Some kind of big anhyzer shot going up this way. Now guys, I'll be honest. I just threw one of the best tight tee shots of my life, and I threw the wrong way off of this tee pad. That is not a joke. I will show you guys. Oh, I did it. Don't hit a tree. What a shot. What a shot by the DX Valkyrie. But I'm taking the hex, ripping it up there. I kind of see the fairway. Let's see how we do. Oh, we caught some branches. I don't think we made it up there that far. I had the right idea with the hex. It just caught one of these low-hanging branches, which is a bummer. The basket's down there, nice wooded kind of backdrop there. I'm just gonna send a high, wide hammer. Hopefully we get lucky. Can't find my disc anywhere, and I keep asking this guy. Like, not getting much of a response, but I do respect the hat game. You guys will have to let me know who's pulling it off better. Be honest. Hole 7, 254 feet. We just gotta hang straight through this tight little fairway and get a left finish. I'm gonna go with my Kotuku. May have threw that too hard. Oh boy, are we finding every tree this round. Well, that tree may have actually helped us a bit. Like I mentioned, I felt like I threw that way too hard. Naturally, we do have this tricky putt though. I gotta kind of go in between these 3 trees for the 2. I absolutely love it out here at Blue Goose, but for some reason, I have had more putts hit the basket and chains and fall out than I've had in a very long time. Hole 8, and we need to get some redemption here. 250 feet. We're going up this same path, but this one tree off to the left does make this hole quite a bit more difficult because you can't just go with that slow turnover. I'm gonna go with my Envy. Just slide up there, that should be good. Oh yeah. That's exactly what we needed for the much needed birdie. Hole 9, 347 feet, and this can really only be attacked with a little flex forehand. Now we need to hold off to the left a bit, and then we need a sharp crash back to the right. Very tricky shot, especially for me. I'm gonna go with my Halo Boss. Oh my goodness. That disc is gone. It looked pretty good. We hit one of the pine branches hanging down. I just went too high with it, and we got a huge left kick. Very unfortunate kick, but luckily it is pretty open. The pin is pretty attackable from over here. I'd guess we still have about 130 to 140 feet. I'm gonna go with my Pro Rhino. All right, kept that a little too low. We had a very low ceiling. I can't be too nitpicky about that. The Pro Rhino got the job done. For today's hole 9 break, I'm just gonna casually rant about how consistently bad the weather has been my entire trip. Wherever I go, there is some kind of like emergency situation. Truly, I've been stuck on a mountain in extreme ice storms, insane wind, snow in places where it doesn't snow, extreme cold to the point where lakes were freezing in Georgia. And last night, casually sitting in the vehicle, and I just start hearing this alarm. It's like 9:45, I think. Now, the park in Shelbyville, when it closes, a guy sounds this little like alarm siren thing, and then the park is closing, the park is closing. So at first, that's what I thought it was. No, it was a tornado siren. Looking outside, it was getting pretty bad. Like the winds were starting to pick up, and the thunder and lightning, you could just tell, I had that feel, that powerful, like there was some momentum gaining. And then it turned. And a lot of people, if you're in an area familiar with tornadoes, there's just this feeling, it kind of feels like the static has been sucked out of the air. And I got that feeling. Fast forward 20 minutes, I find myself in Shelbyville Park. I don't remember the name of the park. Shelbyville Park, in a bathroom. I just abandoned the vehicle in the bathroom because I figured that was a better idea. Sat there for about, I had 45 minutes, an hour, kind of let it pass, and just casually dealt with an extreme thunderstorm for the next few hours. I'm sure a lot of you guys are dealing with it too. I just needed to vent that a minute. I feel like if I were to rewind back when I was in Michigan and I just knew the future for all of the bad weather, and I just literally made my entire trip hitting each one in sequential order. It has just been an absolute struggle. In the comments, I'm just gonna hit you guys with the classic small talk situation. How's the weather been this year for you? If you guys are enjoying the content, please make sure to hit that subscribe button, especially if you are new here. And if you want to check out t-shirts, towels, used discs, hop on my website, tossingplastic.com. All of it is in the description. And also, I do want to bring up real quickly, I've had a lot of people messaging me and saying that they don't get notified, or they don't know, or my videos aren't going in their feed anymore. So make sure to turn on the notifications so you guys know when I post my next video. Hole 10, 234 feet. There are quite a few holes on this 18 that it feels like the forehand would suit you better, but I do think that I can hit this line with the P Waka Waka. We need to get a relatively slow flip up and then that right fade. We got to make it through that little gateway up there. Luckily, the P Waka Waka is so flippy that I hit the tree and it still continued to turn over. Hole 11, 231 feet. Now, I'm not entirely sure where the basket is, but the T sign does show it going off to the right quite a bit. We are going uphill and have a low ceiling, so I'm gonna disc up a bit to my DX Valkyrie. All right, I think that was good. I threw that pretty hard. We may have sailed past it, but I have a decent feeling on that one. This Valkyrie really is finding a spot in the bag, and I'm really excited to keep breaking it in. I mean, it is DX. Well, special edition DX. I don't know if it needs much more breaking in. Hole 12, and this one is a doozy, 380 feet. As you can tell, we have a tight, long, narrow fairway, and the basket's just barely tucked off to the left at the end of it. I'm gonna go with my orc. Be perfect. What a nice shot by the orc. Now we got a just brutal skip on that. Surprisingly, that far into the flight, I think we landed decently close to the basket. Where we skipped to, I have no idea. Orc did not skip as far as I thought it did, giving us the opportunity to knock down a really solid 2. Oh, that was so needed. That was so needed. Very tough hole. Really nice orc shot. Hole 13, and we have the field goal hole. As you can see, we have the letters written right out there. Tight little tunnel shot. We got that guardian tree. You really have to come in pretty low and hope for some ground play. I'm gonna go with my hex. I don't think that was very good. This hex was absolutely munched. I'm pretty sure it said 319 feet. I was looking for it like quite a bit short. I'm not sure, I could not believe that when we hit, we were actually behind the basket. Now we have left ourselves not the worst putt ever. We have one little branch in our way, right on circle's edge for the 2. Oh, just a little low. Really, hex really has me caught off guard with that one. Hole 14, 280 feet, and we have 2 options here. We have this right up the gut, right finish is preferred. I think if you land straight, you'll be just fine. And then you have this big kind of hyzer route that is mostly blind, a lot more overgrown. Now this tee pad kind of looks like a banana. This is a tough one to get a run up on. I'm gonna go with my Valkyrie. Don't hit it. Yep. That was a good throw, locked into that tree. This didn't go very far, but you should barely be able to see the top of the basket up there. Now I was originally thinking to go with a little flick shot, but this tree right here is not going to allow that. So I did bring the Waka Waka just in case. All right, hopefully that was pretty good. Well, it turns out that we absolutely noodled this one. Today has not been the best for us to hone in our distance control. We've left ourselves a long putt, probably around 43 feet for the 3. Oh, the crouch helped. We all knew it. We all thought it. The crouch, initiating the crouch, if you go down, the disc will go up a little bit. It's proven. I just want to ask you guys, because I've seen a lot of them while I've been on the road playing these courses, but how many of you have a local course with a Teepee? Now, I'm not sure why the Teepees and disc golf courses go hand in hand, other than it's like you're just in the woods, so we're going to do woods things, and building a Teepee is like step 1. You know what I'm saying? This is one of the nicer ones I've seen. You can't really go in it. It needs some upkeep. Door's not very big, so it does lose some bonus points for that one. But have any of you guys built a Teepee? I'm just curious. Hole 15, 215 feet, and we have this classic dual lane situation here. Now we've had our fair share of tunnel shots so far, so I'm gonna take my splice, rip it down this right side. Maybe we'll get a skip. The ground is very mashy, but maybe something special will happen. Hey, we did catch a skip. I'm not sure where in regard to the basket it was, but we caught a skip. Looked pretty good. I'm gonna be honest, I was aiming for the yellow basket. I didn't see a blue one, so I thought maybe it was a shared basket. We went deep, which worked out great because we still do have a putt at the right basket. Turns out we noodled it. I thought we went too hard with it. This one's probably around 45 feet. Dang it. The crouch didn't work that time. Hole 16, and we are throwing blind, 257 feet. We need to hang straight for a while, and then we need a right finish. I'm gonna go with my DX Valkyrie. Well, hopefully we needed a really, like way over there right finish. If we did, we're gonna be looking good. Now, I will say, for the blue layout, it is much easier to lose a disc. I've spent a good amount of time looking for them today because there's a lot of blind holes and the rough is pretty thick. It's dense out here in the woods. This putt's almost a joke. I mean, I could not line myself up any more possibly with these trees in between the basket. I think I'm honestly just gonna pick up this Valkyrie, put it on a crazy Annie. It would be one of the best putts I've ever made. That was horrible. I just skipped off the camera. That was really bad. That was not a good look for the brand. We didn't exactly do ourselves any favors here. I didn't put much thought into the comeback putt. I'm considering just pitching out over there, but I did get my splice. That's gonna be my putter. Hopefully we can dive in there. Oh, barely. That was a scary putt. Hole 17, and we have another doozy of a hole. 467 feet. Another just very straight tunnel shot. I'm gonna go with my orc. Nope. Oh my goodness. I hope I can zoom that in. The error, like the amount of room on each side to get through that gap was gross. That was a gross drive. Unfortunately, we landed in this creek, but I feel like I don't have much room to complain after that tree kick. We still have a long way to go, about 100 feet uphill. Dang, good little run, terrible roll. Maybe that's some karma coming back to us. Very unfortunate roll we had here, leaving us a comeback putt, probably around 22 feet. Oh, it's so poor. That's so poor. Oh my goodness. I think I got the picture. I got the karma back. Rounding off our very fun day out here at Blue Goose, we are ending on a daunting one. Hole 18, 594 feet. Pretty tight technical off the tee. I think as long as we get out to the grass, we should be able to attack the pin on shot number 2. I'm gonna go with my Firestorm. Alrighty, we got on the other side of those pine trees. We'll have to assess where the basket is, and I just realized I left my splice in that tree basket that we battled with. That's a long walk away. I'm pretty thrilled that the Firestorm was able to get under those big pine trees and give us a decent skip, bringing us out to the open for a chance to end on a good note. I would guess we're maybe around 110, 120 feet away. I'm gonna go with my champion, Rhino. Just slide up there. You know, that is definitely ending on a good note. This is not an easy hole. For the 3. And that wraps up part 2 out here at Blue Goose Disc Golf Course, taking on the blue layout. And overall, I do think it is a good counterpart to the yellow. We are just gonna go over the pros and cons comparing the two. So if you haven't watched my first one yet, part 1, make sure you go check that out. But overall, how they counterpart each other, the blue layout is more difficult. It is more difficult for people who want more of a challenge. You have some really tight tunnel shots, really long tunnel shots, and a lot more shot shapes required to put down a good score. Now, to the flip side of that, the blue layout is a bit more confusing. The yellow layout, I feel like I didn't skip a beat. This one, there was some confusion. There's 3 holes that share a basket. If you don't remember them off the top of your head, you might find yourself aiming towards the wrong basket, thinking that they share them because you have a yellow basket in your fairway and you can't see the blue one. Other thing that I noticed with the blue layout, being more difficult when you're dealing with, you know, the high 300s and even the 300s, tight tunnel shots, I think that's when level tee pads become a lot more needed. They're a lot more needed when you're aiming for those long, tough shots. So Unlike on the yellow course where it was more enjoyable, laid back, fun, easier, the tee pads weren't that big of a deal. But when you've raised the skill needed for the course, I also feel like the tee pads need to match it. One thing about Blue Goose is the signage from hole to hole is very good. There are signs everywhere telling you where to go and where the next tee pad is. I'll be honest with you guys, I don't need to go down the long list of what makes this course special because it's all of the positive things that the yellow course had. And honestly, I feel like the video does a great job showcasing it. With all of that being said, I'm going to give Blue Goose on the blue layout the very solid score of 9.5 out of 10. I do think that the yellow course is significantly better in my opinion. I just think it's more enjoyable. The ease of play is nicer. And there's no confusion. I do think the blue drops off a little bit, but guys, it's still a 9.5. You have to get out here and check out Blue Goose. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Now it's your turn to go toss some plastic.